One of the things I love the most in chess is when my opponents decide to sacrifice something against me. It can be a pawn, it can be a piece, does not matter. My mantra is, if there's no immediate checkmate, I will try to find a way of holding on to that extra material, trade queens, and then win the game. And this game was about to have a sacrifice, but I was ready. I was playing against a guy called Olle, and this was in the Swedish Chess Championship. It was the Blitz tournament. So we shook hands and then I started the clock. He went e4 and I went c5, the Sicilian, and he brought out his knight and I went e6. So this became an open Sicilian, which is when they pushed that d-pawn. I brought out my knight and this all became very normal. So here I was thinking, what is he going to do? Is he going to take my knight or is he going to enter something else? He took it and I took back, and I actually kind of had a feeling that that's what was going to happen, but I did not expect him to go bishop there right now, defending the pawn. I was happy because I was going to be able to take that center, and already now I felt very comfortable. He pushed the pawn, which made me feel even more comfortable because now I knew that I would have this incredible center after he defended that pawn. So he defended it with the queen, and now it was time for me to push forward. I pushed my c-pawn, and the idea was that I wanted to trap his bishop. He played bishop b5, pinning the knight, but that bishop doesn't have a very bright future there, and I instantly knew that I would be able to get his bishop pair. He wouldn't be able to really keep that bishop, I thought, for a long time. So I went bishop b7, and I was now getting ready for my bishop to become incredible in that long diagonal. Maybe I was going to push my d-pawn and try to take that pawn on g2. So he brought his other bishop out, and I thought that I need to castle, but I also thought, should I push my d-pawn? What is happening here? So I went c4 instead, which I actually think is a move that I wish I wouldn't have done. My idea was that I wanted to go d4 and just get an even bigger center. I also wanted to have that square for my bishop perhaps, but I do think that is a move I should not have done. It feels very wrong when I'm looking back at it. But it doesn't matter because the game was gonna have many things happening. So he castled, and I had to find a place to put my bishop. I found that square c5, which felt like a great square, and it was time for me to castle very soon. So he was playing quite fast and confidently. He threatened my bishop. I knew that I had to move it. I moved it back, and I thought, now his knight is not really doing much. Everything I need to do is castle, and then my knight will not be pinned. So he went back, and I thought, okay, this felt like a little bit of waste of time, so I can just castle. He brought his rook in, and it was time now for me to maybe move my knight, I thought, because if I moved my knight, then maybe I could try to trap his bishop. So I moved my knight to b6. This was a square that would a little bit defend towards that bishop going to a4, and my plan now was to trap that bishop. That was everything I wanted. So he played bishop e3, threatening a little bit my knight, and he was also threatening certain ideas of bishop takes c4, etc. He went bishop a4 here, and I had to think about if that was something I wanted to take, but I did feel like I wanted to trap that bishop somehow. I wanted to find a place for that bishop to be stuck. And so I played bishop b4, which I thought was a move that would put a lot of pressure on him, because now I was threatening to take his bishop, to take his knight and then take his bishop, because it's his knight that is defending the bishop. So I could feel that I was putting pressure on him, and in a blitz game, that's all that it's about. So he really right now started thinking and didn't know what to do. I could feel his hands moving a lot, and to me that said that he was a bit nervous, and that made me very happy. You know, I look a lot at body language when I'm playing chess. So I felt like he was a bit uncomfortable here, and he was shaking his head I thought because he had to make a decision. And so he went knight e4. He decided to sacrifice his bishop to try to go for an attack against my king. Now, I pretty immediately thought, yes, I was able to put him in a lot of pressure, and this cannot have been so well calculated, right? Like, it's a blitz game. Do you really have time to calculate everything? So I thought, now everything I'm going to do is that I'm going to hold on to that extra piece. I'm not going to get checkmated and we're going to win the game. So this is what I was trying to plan now. So I started calculating a little bit, and I knew that if I take that knight, he's going to place his bishop on h6, and then he's going to be threatening to checkmate me with queen g4, queen g7 checkmate. So I wasn't a fan of taking that knight. I decided therefore to move my king instead, and that was maybe not the best move, but like I said, this was a blitz game. I wasn't sure exactly of what the best moves were here, but I moved my king, and what I saw was that I would be able to potentially now just take his knight. But I started getting worried about if he played a move such as bishop g5 perhaps. I thought maybe that bishop would be very strong there. And the game was going to get very tactical now. He went queen h5, which was a move that made me very happy because now I could take his knight with no further issues. He brought his bishop to d4, but now after I blocked, there was nothing he could do. He tried to keep the attack going, but I knew there was no attack anymore. I could simply go rook g8. I was threatening to take that pawn. I can even take it now, I thought, and so I actually decided to do so because I thought that if I'm able to trade queens now, it's just going to be completely winning for me with the extra material. He had no other choice but to trade queens, defend that pawn, and now I was going to attack it even more. The attacker was me now, and he tried to check my king. He was playing very fast. I tried to make sure that I didn't somehow lose my rook, but I knew that with just a little bit of good play, that would not be possible. I started by going rook g6, but I kind of changed my mind, and I decided to go rook f5 instead to threaten his pawn. He moved his king up, defending it. I just needed to trade pieces. I needed to find a way of trading pieces. So I thought, okay, let me go ahead and trade off his bishop. My time was ticking down, and I had to ensure that I didn't lose on time. But I still had more time than him. So I decided to trade rooks instead first, because without his rook, I thought it would be even better for me. He threatened my bishop. I moved it back. We traded bishops, and now I knew that I had this incredible square for my knight. We traded rooks as well, but I decided to, before taking his rook, I decided that potentially it was slightly better to go for this move, knight e4 check, with the idea being that after he moves his king, I've gained an extra tempo. So I thought that was a very nice move, and I could tell that he was a bit shocked. He was smiling, and now he resigned. And yeah, he was super friendly. We talked a bit before the game and after. He was very, very, very friendly. And it was a great game. So thank you so much, Ole, for this game. But in general, like I said, I love when people sacrifice pieces against me. Even just a pawn is amazing. Give me that material. I'll hold on to it. Thank you so much for watching, and have a beautiful day, and good luck with your chess. Hope you learned something.